Good morning, folks. I got up today and got some coffee, and I came across this comment. And the comment is, okay, I've asked this question on multiple occasions to different people doing this COL or live life claim. So by COL, I'm guessing that they mean claim of life. And not one person can give a simple answer. What is the benefit of getting a COL live life claim? Now, I gotta love folks that start off like that. Okay, I've like they're exasperated, and like you should give a shit that they're exasperated about this. Anyways, I just think that's funny. But you know, it's the way the internet is, folks. It's the way the internet is. And I've done videos like this, giving closure to the claim of the live life claim. I even made a mini class that was like 45 minutes to an hour long, I think, on the mechanics behind the live life claim. But of course, this wise two straw man perhaps didn't exercise their wisdom and do a search on my channel. Now, I'm not sure who they've asked about this, right? But whoever they've asked obviously didn't give them the answer that they wanted to hear or that they cognized. So I really thought about this for a minute. With the balance of the honor and the grace, what is the simplest way to explain what a benefit would be of the live life claim? Because I'm pretty sure this individual probably doesn't even know what the purpose of a live life claim is. But I digress. So I thought about it, and this is the answer I gave them. The claim of the live life is a critical component of stopping bureaucratic trespass using the grammar technology known as correct sentence structure, communication, parsing, syntax, grammar. However, that is not the main purpose of the document. So I think that's pretty simple. That's a pretty simple answer. That's two sentences. And actually one sentence covers it. If you're looking for a benefit, that's definitely a benefit, isn't it? To stop a bureaucratic trespass. If someone is bilking you of money, ripping you off, coming after your bank accounts and stuff, having a live life claim is a critical component if you're going to use correct sentence structure to stop that trespass. Because if you don't have a correct live life claim, it's probably not going to work out for you. So what is a live life claim? In short, keep it simple for wise two straw man, a live life claim is basically three or more live life claimants coming together on a document, contract, postal vessel, court venue and certifying that you are a live life claimant, a living, breathing creature, live life claimant. And then it enables you, gives you the capacity to have a punctuated, copyrighted name that you choose. And by punctuated name, I mean it's written in correct grammar. It's written in correct sentence structure, communication, parsing, syntax, grammar. And if anyone wants to contract with you, that is the name that they must use, because contract is by consent. That's why this works. It's because most times in the fiction, well, all the time in the fiction, pretty much, the fiction will try to contract with you using your all caps name or variations on your first, middle, and last names while putting in maybe different other words like Mr. or Senior or whatever in there. You know, that's what the fiction does. But this brings it into correct grammar because contract, keep in mind, contract is by consent. So because I don't think that wise two straw man actually knows what a correct sentence structure, communication, parsing, syntax, grammar, claim of the live life is, let's just do a simple Google search and see what Google has to say about it in 2026. So Google says a claim of the live life or I'm sorry, claim of the life or live life claim is a pseudo-legal document used by sovereign citizens to assert their existence as a flesh and blood human. Man, so many oxymorons going on here. Distinguishing themselves from their legal strawman corporate persona to evade government statutes. It often includes fingerprints, DNA, and specific formal language to establish identity. What a way to word that. What a way to word that. Anybody a fan of alliteration? I know I am. Hilarious. Okay, so I use the correct terminology for me would be claim of the live life. For the claim of the live life. Now you could use other words for it, like live life claim and things like that. Just like correct sentence structure, communication, parsing, syntax, grammar is sometimes referred to as quantum grammar. All right. So in order to correct what Google says in the context of correct grammar, using plain simple English to articulate it, it would probably go something like this. A claim of the live life is a document used by living, breathing creatures to assert their existence as flesh and blood breathing humans, distinguishing themselves from their legal straw man to stop bureaucratic trespass. It often includes fingerprints, DNA, and specific correct sentence structure, communication, to establish credentials, period. Something like that, right? So let's look at here. Key aspects of this claim include separation of identity. The core purpose is differentiate living person from the legal entity. Sovereign citizens, all you long-time fringe common law folks out there know that sovereign citizen is an oxymoron. You can't be a citizen and be sovereign. And matter of fact, there is really no one out there who is literally sovereign in the sense of the word sovereign. Because if you were a sovereign, ladies and gentlemen, you would be creating your own money. You would create your own fuel for your vehicles. You would have your own land. And you would have probably a militia to be able to hold that land against interlopers, trespassers, and attackers, and so on and so forth. No one out there is that I know of. Contents. It typically includes the claimant's personal information such as date and place of birth along with signatures, thumbprints, and witnesses. No signatures, autograph. It is often used to assert rights. No, rights only exist in the fiction. A chicken has a right to eat and a fox has a right to eat. That's enough said about rights. It is often written in a constructed language, referred to as quantum grammar. A constructed language. Is there any other type of language, Google, other than constructed? What is the opposite of to construct? To deconstruct? To destroy? So I'm not sure what the hell Google is talking about here. And this is why I am not a huge fan of AI, because whether you realize it or not, and I know folks out there are going to say, oh, Jason, he's this old timer, stuck in the mud, in the past, just biased against AI. Well, this is why. This is part of the reason why. 50% of what you see on your screen here is bullshit. And the way it's worded, it's like there's a little bit of truth in there, but it's mixed in with bullshit. And people will look this up and take it for that's what it is, you know? Like people that use ChatGPT will bring back some sort of algorithmic data and then take it to actually mean something. When this is not accurate at all, not in any sense of the word. So now let's look at the exact question that the commenter asked me. What is the benefit of a claim of the live life? So as you can see in this overview, there is a similar document in the fiction having to do with life insurance. But none of that has to do with a correct sentence structure communication live claim. And down here, they actually make note of that. Note, in some contexts, a claim of life is a personal, non-legally recognized declaration of living status, which differs. Now that right there is accurate. That is accurate, which is surprising to me. It's a personal, non-legally recognized declaration of living status. That's Google gave a great fiction babble definition of what a life claim is right there. Right there, folks. Right there. Wow. Kudos to you, Google. But that doesn't make up for all the other bullshit that we just looked at. So this is my life claim. I did it on February 10th of 2020. Okay? Now, a life claim. The purpose of a life claim, as I said before, is 3 or more life claim witnesses come together, autograph and thumbprint your life claim to certify that you are a living, breathing life claimant. And you would also take copyright copy claim jurisdiction over your punctuated name. Okay, and there are some other details on here, like the DNA, yes. A picture, yes. And then also on mine, which I created myself, which you can do, because if you hold authorization over a document, that means you're the author of it. You authorize it. You're the authority, not someone else. If you see someone else's name in the copyright copy claim section of a life claim that you paid money for, then that means your life claim is not 100% yours. That means someone else owns a stake in your life claim. All right? So some of the details on here that I give out are facts about myself as a life claimant. For example, when I was physically birthed into this domain, this physical, tangible domain, I give that. I give the GPS coordinates to the location of where I physically entered into this domain, this geometric level plane field of existence. I have the name of my mother on here. Okay. I also have a claim, I say, for this claim of the vessel authority is with the wholeness and totality of the vessel particles, and life with the location of the vessel creation with this vessel stewardship by this life claimant. So what that means is I'm claiming jurisdiction over everything that was physically birthed into this domain, meaning stem cells, placenta, all those things. And I not only claim it at that point, but I also claim it from the point of vessel creation. When the spark of creation happened, I claim it all the way back to there. But I don't claim ownership. I'm a steward of that because I didn't create it, but I'm a steward of it, and I treat it as though I did, if that makes sense. So, and gender. I have gender on here because gender is a fact. Okay. And I have that on there. The things I don't have on here are things like hair color, eye color, height, and weight. Because at the time I created this in 2020, I think I probably weighed 200 pounds. Now I weigh about 230 pounds, so that's not correct. Um, my eye color, sometimes it's brown, sometimes it's hazel, sometimes it could even be green. So if that's fluctuating, I'm not going to put that on here as a fact. Hair color, obviously. It was once dark brown. It's obviously not that anymore. So, height. I'm a little over 6 foot tall. However, as you get older, you kind of shrink. So, I didn't put that on there. So, things like that, all right? Now, the most important thing about this live life claim is the grammar. You must have correct grammar mechanics. And that also means you must have correct banking mechanics, postal mechanics, and flag mechanics. In order to use this, if you are going to use it yourself, then you have to have closure on correct sentence structure, communication, parse, syntax, grammar so good that you can teach it to someone else and explain it to someone else in a situation under duress. Now, when I said in my answer to Wise 2 Strawman's comment where I said it's a critical component of stopping bureaucratic trespass, meaning if you don't have a correct claim of the live life when you're trying to stop a trespass, you're not going to, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to be able to stop the trespass. You must have a correct claim of the live life, and that's why it is a critical component. If you're going to use a C-Pass-C treaty, a port authority claim, or fate revolution claim, or domicile claim, or anything like that, you have to have a correct sentence structure, communication, parse, syntax, grammar, claim of the live life. It has to be correct grammatically. And folks, I'll just say this one time here in this video. I've said it in other videos. If you have paid money for a live life claim, and if you have less than 3 live life claim witnesses on your live life claim, if you have a witness on your live life claim that has never witnessed you, you've never seen them, you've never met them, you've never even did a Zoom call or a Skype call with them and seen them in a video call, how can they be a witness to you if they've never met you or spoken with you, even at the very least in a video chat? How? How can they be a witness for you? Keep that in mind. Not to mention the grammar mechanics. Now, I know there are folks out there selling live life claims for $200 to $300. Personally, I feel no one should pay for a live life claim. That's why I highly recommend that folks create their own live life claims, claim of the live lives. And the way you do that is to learn this grammar. Now, oh, that's a lot of work. I know. I know. So tough these days, right? Well, I'd be more than happy to help you create a claim of the live life. If you email me at jasonmatthewg17@gmail.com, use your correct name, and ask for help, I'd be more than happy to help you. One caveat, one term and condition. You must at least have a rudimentary closure on correct sentence structure, communication, parse, syntax, grammar. And if you do contact me and you do ask me to help you create a claim of the live life, I'm going to test you right then and there on the spot. During the Zoom call, I'm going to test you on grammar. I'm going to ask you to syntax a sentence. I'm going to ask you to translate a fiction babble sentence into correct sentence structure. I'm going to ask you parse questions. And it's going to take all of 3 or 4 minutes probably for me to ascertain whether you do or don't have a rudimentary closure on this grammar technology. It's pretty easy. Live life claims are invaluable. However, I don't agree with people putting a price tag on them. And then people say, oh, well, it takes time and effort to create a live life claim, and why would you want to get something for free and blah, blah, blah. Guess what? Guess what? Before the summer solstice of 2018, nobody charged anything for a live life claim. Live life claims were free. No one even thought about charging money for a live life claim. Why? Because David-WYNN Miller was still living. Okay? He included a live life claim, very basic live life claim template in his book on his website, which people do have old copies of his book, and they're selling that. Like David personally sold me his book for $200. I see people selling them for $300 now. But then again, I see it for free on the internet in PDF form. David's website has been scrubbed, and a different website has been put up that's been slightly modified. So you got to be careful about these things, okay? But that's how I feel about it. All this stuff is open for you to use, and you are authorized to use it if you have closure on the grammar. And that's a big if, because only the 1% of the 1% of the 1% are really actually going to learn this and get closure on it. And interestingly enough, as I've said before in many videos, but I haven't really talked about it lately, about 75 or more % of closure on this comes from the psychology of it. If you don't have that cognition, if you do not understand that contract is by consent, if you do not understand the principles of the balance of the honor and the grace, the maintenance of Rule 1, Rule Equal, and the position of peace and neutrality, if you don't understand those things, the do no harm thing, then you're not going to get closure on this grammar. You're not going to get full closure on it. You may get close, but it's not going to work out for you the way it could if you got full closure on it. Contract is by consent. Keep that in mind. And it's not always the case, whereas if you strike me, I strike you back, and that's fair. No, it's not always the case. Not always the case. It's a situational basis for determining those types of things. So that's neither here nor there, though, folks. I hope this helped those of you out there who are newbies and for whatever reason you don't possess the wherewithal to go through my channel and research Claim of the Live Life and look up the videos, the many videos I've done on it, that you're just coming on here with and expect, spoon feeding type of stuff. Here it is. The spoon's right in front of you. I hope this helped. If you're serious about learning this grammar and doing something with it, you know where to go. JasonMatthewG17 @gmail.com. Que sera, sera.